Welcome to your own personal deep dive into some fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be talking about neurodiversity and how it's really shaking up the workplace,
Yeah,
especially with AI becoming a bigger and bigger deal every day.
absolutely.
So we've got some awesome sources lined up,
hmm
articles about companies, even some snippets from a leadership training program at Harvard.
Oh, that's a great mix.
Really cool stuff. And our mission here is to help you see how these two things,
Right.
neurodiversity and AI,
Yeah.
actually connect in ways you might not expect.
Yeah.
And who knows,
Yeah.
maybe it'll even spark some ideas for, your own work or your own company.
It's such a fascinating time to be thinking out this stuff.
All right.
AI is changing so fast. It's
Mm.
really making us rethink so much about
Hmm.
how we work. And I think a big part of that is,
Yeah,
who do we need to be leading the way?
exactly.
Yeah.
So let's dive right in.
Okay.
One of our sources highlights this company called Keyport, and they're intentionally hiring neurodivergent employees.
Interesting.
And, I know what you might be thinking.
What's that?
Oh, that's just, a nice thing to do.
Right, right.
But it's actually a lot more than that.
Okay.
Keyport is seeing some serious benefits from this approach.
Wow.
It's not just about being socially responsible.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really smart business move.
So they're not just doing good, they're doing well.
Exactly.
I like it.
To really get why this is such a big deal, I think we need to define what neurodiversity actually means.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to start.
Right, because we hear it all the time now, but what does it actually mean in a practical sense?
Yeah, one of our sources from Harvard Health Publishing.
Okay.
They define neurodiversity as the idea that people experience and interact with the world in many different ways.
Hmm.
There's no one right way to think or learn or behave.
Right.
What might be seen as a challenge for one person could actually be a strength for someone else.
Oh, I see. So it's about embracing those differences.
Oh.
And seeing them as, assets,
Absolutely.
not trying to fit everybody into the same mold.
That's the key.
Okay, so Keyport is a great example of a company putting this into practice.
Yeah, they seem to be getting it right.
But was it like an instant success?
Right.
Because integrating people who think and learn differently,
Yeah.
that's got to come with its own challenges, right?
Oh, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Change is never easy,
No.
especially in the workplace.
Right.
And shifting mindsets about neurodiversity, well, that's no exception.
It takes time.
It does.
So what's interesting about Keyport's story is that they didn't just assume that it would all work out perfectly.
Yeah.
They put in the work
You did?
to make an environment where neurodivergent employees could really thrive.
Okay, so let's dig into those challenges.
Yeah.
What kind of hurdles did they have to overcome?
Well, one of the biggest things they had to deal with early on was communication.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not always easy for people with different ways of thinking and communicating to really understand each other.
Right.
So Keyport really had to be intentional about building bridges between those neurodivergent employers and the neurotypical employees.
Yeah.
They used training programs to help everyone understand and appreciate the different communication styles.
Okay.
And they made it clear that it was okay to ask questions,
Oh, that's huge.
and just clarify anything that wasn't clear.
Yeah, to create that safe space.
Exactly. And that's where leadership is so important.
Absolutely.
Keyport's leaders really had to model that inclusivity
Yeah.
and create a culture where everyone felt valued and respected no matter how their brain worked.
No matter what their neurotype was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's talk about those benefits we mentioned earlier.
Okay.
What are some real examples of how this approach is paying off for Keyport?
Well, one of the most impressive examples is in their customer service department.
Oh, interesting.
Amy Henkel, their VP of Customer Service and Operations.
She said that many of her neurodivergent employees have this amazing ability to focus,
Okay.
especially on those repetitive tasks that others might find kind of boring or tedious.
Yeah.
They can really stay on task,
Mm.
pay close attention to detail, and just be incredibly accurate.
That makes total sense.
It does.
In a world full of distractions,
Right.
that kind of focus is a superpower.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
Totally. And it's not just customer service.
Yeah.
David Cooper, Keyport's president,
Okay.
he talks about how neurodivergent employees often bring a totally fresh perspective
Mm-hmm.
to product development.
Oh, I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, what kind of insights are they bringing?
Well, Cooper gives a specific example
Okay.
where one of their employees who has autism
Mm-hmm.
gave some really honest feedback about a new product design.
Okay.
He was able to explain why the design wouldn't work well for people with sensory sensitivities.
Wow.
something that the neurotypical design team hadn't even thought about.
That's incredible.
It is a different way of experiencing the world, leading to a better product.
That's the beauty of neurodiversity.
And it's not just about making products more accessible.
Right.
Neurodivergent employees are also coming up with totally new ideas.
Yeah. One of the sources talks about how an employee's heightened sense of touch led to some really interesting insights about how different materials feel.
Wow.
And that directly impacted their product design.
It's like having a secret weapon.
Right.
A whole team that sees things differently and can spot these opportunities that other people miss.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the bottom line either.
Oh, what do you mean?
Keyport's leaders believe that creating an inclusive workplace is simply the right thing to do. But they've also seen that it has this ripple effect throughout the company.
Okay.
When employees feel valued and respected for who they are,
Right.
it makes the whole work environment more positive and everyone's more engaged.
So it's a win-win.
Absolutely.
Keyport is proving that embracing neurodiversity isn't just some feel-good initiative. It's a smart strategy that benefits everyone involved.
100%.
Okay, so we've seen how Keyport is really using neurodiversity as a strength.
Yeah.
But how does this all connect to AI?
Yeah, good question.
That's what we're going to explore in the next part of our deep dive.
Can't wait. Yeah, it really is a fascinating question.
Right.
How does a company like Keyport, known for its success with neurodiversity, play a role in AI?
Yeah.
This technology that's, all about algorithms and data.
That's what I'm so curious about.
Yeah.
On the surface, they seem like totally different things,
Right.
but I have a feeling that when we dig a little deeper, there are going to be some surprising connections.
Absolutely. And I think Keyport's experience can teach us a lot about how we should be approaching AI development,
Okay.
and especially AI governance,
Interesting.
especially when it comes to leadership.
Okay, so let's connect the dots here.
Yeah.
We talked about all the benefits Keyport is seeing from having this neurodiverse workforce. But how does that same mindset apply to the world of AI?
Well, one of the biggest takeaways from Keyport's story is the importance of diversity of thought.
Okay.
They've shown that when you bring together people with different perspectives and cognitive styles, you get more creative problem solving and better outcomes.
And that seems really important for AI.
Yeah.
Especially given how complex and how quickly it's evolving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
AI isn't just a technical challenge. It's a human challenge.
Yeah.
We're talking about technology that could impact literally every part of our lives.
Right. From healthcare to education to
right.
jobs.
Everything.
Yeah.
And we need diverse voices at the table
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that AI is developed and used responsibly.
So it's not just about having the best engineers or data scientists.
Right.
It's about having a team with lots of different perspectives,
Yeah.
including people who might challenge the way we've always done things.
You need people who are going to push back a little.
Exactly. And that's where neurodiversity comes in.
That's it.
Neurodivergent individuals, just by definition, they think differently.
They do.
They might process information in unique ways,
Right.
have different strengths and weaknesses, and approach problems from totally unexpected angles. And those differences that are often seen as, deficits in more traditional work environments could be huge assets when it comes to AI development.
Absolutely. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
We were just talking about how some neurodivergent people have this incredible ability to focus on details.
Right.
That kind of focus can be so valuable
Yeah.
for things like data analysis or algorithm development, where you really need precision and accuracy.
It's like having a team of human debuggers who can spot those errors or biases that might slip through the cracks.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And it's not just about finding errors.
Okay.
They can bring new ideas to the table, too.
Right.
Because of their unique ways of thinking. They might see patterns or connections that other people miss. And that could lead to more innovative solutions.
It's like having a team of outside-the-box thinkers
Exactly.
who can really push the boundaries of AI.
But here's the thing. It's not enough to just have neurodivergent people on the team.
Right.
You have to create an environment where they can thrive.
Yeah.
And that takes us back to what we learned from Keyport. It's all about that culture of inclusivity.
Right.
Where everyone feels safe sharing their ideas.
Yeah.
And challenging the way things are done.
So it's not just about checking off a diversity box. It's about making a workplace where everyone feels valued and respected for who they are.
That's what it's all about.
And it's not just about being nice or doing the right thing.
Yeah.
There's a business case for it, too.
There is.
When people feel comfortable being themselves, they're going to be more engaged and more productive.
And that means better results for everybody.
Exactly. So if we want to develop AI that's truly innovative and actually beneficial, we need to look beyond how we've always hired people and start thinking about how to use the strengths of neurodiversity.
Absolutely. We have to shift our mindset.
Yeah.
We have to stop seeing neurodiversity as a problem to be solved.
Okay.
And start seeing it as this valuable resource to tap into.
You know, this is making me think about leadership in a whole new way.
How so?
Well, we talked about Keyport's leadership and how they created this inclusive environment. But what about the qualities we need to guide the development of AI more broadly? Are there certain leadership qualities that are especially important in this whole AI thing?
That is a fantastic question.
Yeah.
And one of our sources, an article about ethical leadership in AI, really digs into this. It highlights 7 crucial qualities that are essential for leaders who are dealing with the complexities of AI.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I think several of these qualities line up perfectly with what we've been talking about.
With neurodiversity?
Yeah.
Which qualities are you thinking of?
Well, 2 that immediately come to mind are courage and humility.
Okay, I can see how those might be relevant.
Yeah.
But why are they so important when it comes to AI specifically?
Well, think about it. AI is powerful.
Yeah.
But it's not a magic solution.
Right.
It's not going to fix all our problems overnight.
No.
In fact, there's a real danger that AI could be used in ways that are harmful or discriminatory.
That's a scary thought.
It is if we're not careful.
So how do courage and humility fit into all of this?
Well, leaders who have courage, they're willing to speak up and challenge the status quo, even when it's uncomfortable.
Right.
They ask tough questions, and they hold people accountable, even when it's hard. And that is so important with AI because we need leaders who are willing to stand up and say, this isn't right. We have to do better.
So it's about having the guts to speak truth to power.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to something as complex and controversial as AI.
Exactly.
Wow.
And humility goes right along with courage. Humility is about knowing that you don't have all the answers.
Right.
That you need to be open to different perspectives and willing to learn from other people. And in the world of AI, that means being willing to listen to the people who might be affected by these technologies. Including people who think and experience the world differently.
So it's about recognizing that we don't have all the answers when it comes to AI.
Right.
And we need to approach it with humility. And a willingness to learn.
Exactly. And I think that's another place where neurodiversity can play a crucial role.
How so?
If we create a culture where neurodivergent people feel comfortable speaking up and sharing their perspectives, we're more likely to catch potential problems or biases in AI systems before they cause any real harm.
It's like having this built-in ethical compass. A team of people who are naturally attuned to things that other people might miss.
That's a great way to think about it. And it's not just about identifying problems.
Right.
Neurodivergent people can help us develop more inclusive and accessible AI solutions that benefit everyone.
So we're leveraging neurodiversity not just to reduce the risks of AI, but also to really unlock its full potential to make a positive impact on the world.
Exactly. Neurodiversity and ethical AI are 2 sides of the same coin.
Wow.
They're both about creating a future where technology empowers people, not controls them.
It sounds like we're talking about a fundamental shift in how we think about work, leadership, and the role of technology in our lives.
You're absolutely right. And it's a shift that's long overdue.
Wow.
We're at the beginning of a tech revolution. And we need to make sure everyone benefits from it. Not just a few.
So where do we go from here?
Good question.
How do we take these ideas and turn them into action?
Yeah, how do we actually do this?
That's what we'll explore in the final part of our deep dive.
All right.
We've talked about so much in this deep dive.
We have.
From Keyport success to these leadership qualities we need in the age of AI.
Right.
It feels like a whole new way of thinking about the future of work.
Yeah, it's exciting.
But how do we actually put these ideas into practice?
Right.
You know, it's one thing to understand them. But it's a whole other thing to actually do something.
To take action.
Yeah. So where do we even start?
It's a great question.
What can our listeners do to make a difference in their own workplaces?
Well, I think step 1 is self-education. There's just so much out there. Articles, books, podcasts, webinars. All about neurodiversity and ethical AI.
Yeah.
You don't have to become an expert overnight.
Right.
But start by learning the basics.
Okay, but beyond reading and learning, what can people actually do?
That's where the critical thinking comes in.
Okay.
Once you have a good grasp of the ideas, start looking for connections to your own work.
Okay.
Your own company culture.
Like how?
Ask yourself, how could we be doing things differently?
Okay.
Are we really inclusive when we hire? Are we considering diverse viewpoints when we're developing AI solutions?
So it's about taking those big ideas and figuring out how they fit into your specific situation.
Exactly.
Okay.
Maybe it's suggesting a neurodiversity training program for your team.
Right.
Or advocating for more transparency about how your company develops AI.
Or even just being more mindful of how you communicate.
Yeah.
And making an effort to understand colleagues who think differently.
Those small changes can have a big impact.
And it's not about blaming anyone.
No.
It's about having these conversations with curiosity and a willingness to learn.
To learn from each other.
Yeah, it's about building bridges.
Exactly.
And creating a space where everyone feels included.
Yeah.
And can contribute their best work.
And don't be afraid to connect with other people.
Oh, yeah.
Who are passionate about these topics.
Right.
Network with them, join online communities. Share resources, support each other's efforts.
There's strength in numbers.
Absolutely.
And together we can really push these ideas forward.
Change takes time.
Yeah.
But those small, consistent steps can really lead to a more equitable and innovative future.
Speaking of the future, let's leave our listeners with a final thought-provoking question.
Okay, I like it.
We've talked about the benefits of embracing neurodiversity and ethical AI.
Right. All the good stuff.
But what if we don't?
Oh.
What are the risks of ignoring these trends?
That's the million-dollar question.
It is.
What kind of future are we building?
Yeah.
If we don't use the power of diverse perspectives and responsible innovation.
It's a question with really high stakes.
It is.
And one we should all think about seriously.
Yeah, I encourage everyone listening to think about that question.
Yeah.
And what role you can play in shaping a future.
Okay.
Where technology helps people.
Right.
Not the other way around.
So well said. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into neurodiversity and ethical AI.
My pleasure.
We hope you learned something new.
Yeah.
But more importantly, that you're inspired to take action.
Absolutely.
Remember, the future isn't something that just happens.
Yeah.
It's something we create together.
We do.
Keep learning, keep questioning, keep pushing the boundaries.
Couldn't have said it better myself.